A no evidence run can be really scary in Phasmophobia, especially as a new player, but you can still do it. And I'm going to show you exactly how. Now, some of what I'm going to go over is going to be specific to this week's no evidence challenge in Grafton, but a lot of these same principles and ideas can be applied to any map. First, no evidence means you have to figure out the ghost via its traits and abilities. So if you are a beginner and you're not overly familiar with the ghost abilities, that's not a problem. Use this amazing site that I will link in the description. It is a Phasmo cheat sheet, and it's going to go over every ghost ability and trait for each ghost. Shout out to Taiban who made this awesome cheat sheet. This is going to be a great resource if you are not overly familiar with the ghosts. For instance, did you know that Onis will not do the Ghost Mist event, that a mare will not turn on a light switch, and if you do turn on one, a mare has a chance of immediately turning it off? Well, if you didn't know, now you do, and you can use this site as a great resource to go alongside your no evidence runs. Like, some of this is going to be Grafton specific, and on Grafton, the breaker was turned off by default. So, and the breaker is not visible on the map. So let me show you the 3 places in Grafton that it can be, because the first thing you're going to want to do is to turn on the breaker. So back here in the storage pantry area, breaker is here, and this is actually where our breaker is. If the breaker is not there, you can immediately go out this door, then to this bedroom, which appears like it's going to be the ghost room. We found that. We don't need to worry about that yet. But the breaker can be in here. And right there on the wall. The other place it can be is upstairs. Now, I think I had already left on the breaker. I'm not playing under the challenge settings. So if the breaker is not there, it's not downstairs. It's going to be upstairs. And it's going to be over here, up against this wall. Now that we know where the breaker is and we have it turned on, the next step is going to be finding the ghost room. Now, in this map, we already know that the ghost is in the bedroom downstairs. Now, there's 2 approaches you can do with this. So we know because we heard the interaction, and we should be able to verify with our thermometer that it's dropping. This is how you would normally want to do it too. The breaker was off, wait for the house to warm up, but you're going to look for the temperature drop if you can't hear the interactions. The next thing is kind of up to your preference. So now that we found the ghost room, if we were not sure on the ghost room, we could use the haunted mirror to find the ghost room specifically for the weekly challenge, or for if we have like a Ouija board as well, just a regular game to ask the ghost where it is. That's going to allow it fast. Now, once we have found the ghost room, we can do a couple of things with that. We're going to go back to the truck. First tests I like to do, really simple and easy. Salt test for a wraith. Check for orbs for a mimic. Orbs will always be present with a mimic, even in no evidence runs. It's always nice when you get that because it's pretty easy, but we've also been bamboozled by not finding orbs, even though they were supposedly there. But we won't comment about that. So those are 2 easy ways, quick and easy tests you can do right away. So to not see orbs in here, did just open the door there, so we do know that the ghost is in here. So now's the time that we start marking stuff off that we know the ghost cannot do. So we can leave trails of salt like this, and we know that whenever it does hunt, it's probably going to come out of the room. We can start checking for salt. So we know it's not going to be a mimic because we do not have orbs. Always check for orbs. We're going to wait to see if it can be a wraith by stepping in the salt. Yureis are very annoying to deal with. What you're going to want to do is check to see if it will fully close an open door. So I recommend when you found the ghost room, go ahead and open up all the doors. It's very annoying to spot. It's rare if the Yurei does it, but that's about the only way you can really verifiably know in no evidence if it's a Yurei. Let's go through some of the things you're going to want to look for. Now, you can also choose to get hunted right away, but we'll worry about that here in a second. All right, it just stepped in the salt. It just stepped in the salt. So we can, snag some pictures of that. It's good to hold this because you may have a phantom, so who will want to deal with that. But we're also looking for, will the ghost turn on a light? If a ghost turns on a light switch, the ghost cannot be a mirror. We mentioned ghosts cannot do that. If we get a mist or airball ghost event, the ghost cannot be an Oni. And that's things that you are looking for. We know that this is a ghost room now in this bedroom. Gorios will not change ghost rooms. So it's very hard to get a Goryo with no evidence. It's just kind of luck. You kind of have to rule out everything else. Gorios and Yureis are two of the most annoying ghosts to verify and no evidence. And at the same time, while we are doing all this, we also need to keep in mind on sanity. I'm going to show you what I like to do. So we know that this is the ghost room. We know where the ghost room is now. Probably the biggest piece of advice that I can give you, learn footstep speeds for hunts. Learn footstep speeds for hunts. Also, if you're playing with like a no hiding spot, the chair upstairs is a great hiding spot. Now I'm going to get a smudge. And we're going to drain our sanity. So we have all the sanity pills. I'm going to drain our sanity so we can get into hunting range, because that's how you're going to eliminate a lot of ghosts. You can eliminate a lot of ghosts that way. I'm going to grab me another flashlight. Typically, this is going to be the setup, and I'll show you how to do it. First, hiding spot. I love the chair upstairs. I do. This chair right here. It's always available. It's a great hiding spot. You just hide here, and the ghost cannot get you. So before any hunt, you always want to know your hiding spot. That's going to be mine that I'm going to go to if we're not able to loop the ghost. This right here is going to be the best spot for getting the ghost to come to you for a couple reasons. So what we're looking for here, we want to close these doors. I mean, this one's not too worried about. But this is the room we're going to want us to be in for a couple reasons. So with the door closed, we can do a yokai test. First we want to listen to footsteps, if I can talk. First you want to listen to footsteps, figure out, is it fast, is it slow, is it normal speed? Next, gonna go with the yokai test by holding our electronic item to see if the ghost is drawn to it, because yokais can only detect electronics 2.5 meters away from you. Every other ghost is 7.5 meters. So that's what you want to look for with the yokai. Myling, you're going to see how quiet it is, because you're not going to hear Myling's footsteps until your electronic equipment starts flashing. Again, we have a smudge as well, the ghost to come. This island is great for a line of sight break. You want to try to loop the ghost? Great. I'm going to show you a way to where you don't have to, because you probably, if you're not skilled enough to want to try that, or you're not confident enough, there's ways you can line of sight with the ghost. So again, the ghost turned on that light in the storage closet. We did not do that. We can rule out a mare. That's the way that we're holding out on abilities. So what we will do first is check for some things, and I'll show you the way. So I don't know why I closed that for. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, we're going to come back in here. I'm going to drop this. So if you hold the mirror, we're going to close this door. If you hold the mirror, look into it. It's going to drain 20% sanity for if it's less than like 2.7 seconds or something. It's going to drain 20%. So this should put us around 60. Then this should put us around 40. We are guessing. So that should be what it is. And I can verify, but I hadn't turned off the breaker. That's annoying if the ghost does do that, but we know it's not a djinn. And you're looking at what the ghost does. The ghost turned off the breaker. It can't be a Djinn. Because Djinns cannot turn off the breaker. That's stuff that you're looking for. And if you're not sure, you can reference back to that site, read what the ghost says. Now the ghost is going to hopefully hunt us. All right, I'm going to do this again. Did look like it switched into the living room. It looks like it switched into the living room, which could rule out a Goryo if you have that. All right. It's a Dio? Okay. See, this is what I meant by hunting right away. We immediately knew what it was. And you could have spent so long eliminating ghosts just based on thing where all you had to do was one hunt. There we go. Because Dio's not going to kill you. I heard it go fast originally, so I heard the fast footsteps immediately. So I knew it was either going to be a Thay, a Revenant, or a Dio, depending on if it stayed or slowed down coming faster to us. Could have been a Hantu. Well, not a Hantu because the breaker was on. Moroi, because our sanity was going to be kind of low. All right. Now we're going to start lowering our sanity. We're going to do the get hunt instantly, and I'll show you how good it can be. We're not trying to trigger a cursed hunt here. What I want you to notice is I've added a smudge timer. Always good to keep a timer on hand, whether it's like this program that I'm using, the live split. Usually it's for speed runs, but it's very good. Just one button, press it, and it's going to go down. Or use like a stopwatch on your phone or an app or just anything. Keep a timer because that's going to help you rule out a couple ghosts. Well, let's get our sanity down. Figure out where the ghost is. All right, here we go. So this is what I meant by yokai test. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a yokai. It did not come in here, and when you see it blinking like that, this is actually a... Come on. Yeah, it never came in here, because that's easily a yokai. That should have came in here. That's what the yokai. It didn't come towards us, and our electronics were flashing. Should be drawn to it. Any other ghost would be drawn to it.
Welcome back. There's some jobs ready for you.
No evidence. I'm highly recommending that you do get hunted right away, because that's going to eliminate a lot of ghosts. Now, if you don't want to draw the ghost to you, recommend getting into a hiding spot, placing your flashlight down. And then just listen to the footstep speed. It's going to rule out a lot of ghosts. I'll show you. We heard footsteps prior to this, not a myling. It is normal speed. Normal speed. So it's not a myling because mylings are quieter and hunt. So we're not going to hear their footstep speed until about the same time our electronic equipment starts malfunctioning. That's why we can rule it out. Raiju, it would have sped up around electronic equipment. Moroi, Dio, Thay. It's not going to work. Let me get out of the house right quick. Well, we'll go through some other stuff because what we want to look at now is at the ghost. But again, Moroi, our sanity's like 0. Not going to be it. Dio, same situation. Dio would have found us, other than the sanity. Thay, we haven't aged it, so it's going to be super fast. Twins, it's normal speed. It's not slower. It's not faster. Hantu, breaker is on, so it'll be slower. We did not hear that. Revenant, it'd be really slow. Not the case. It did seem like it was throwing quite a bit. Pulte is definitely an option I would be thinking about. Now, we want to look for 4 things. For an Oni, Jin, Obake, or a Phantom. Phantom, now this requires you to look at the ghost model during the hunt. But I believe you can do it. Just look at it very closely. Then smudge it and go to the hiding spot, all right? That's what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. The shapeshift. Oh my god, we got so lucky to see that. That's what we are looking for. We're looking for Obake shapeshift, which is super hard to get because there's only a 6.66% chance of seeing that. Also, side note, it's my favorite ability in the game. I always love seeing it. We were going to be looking for an Oni if it was super more visible than normal. If it was a Jin, it would speed up coming towards you and then slow down right before the end.
I said Jen.
Yeah, Phantom, you're not going to see the ghost model as much. It's very noticeable. And also start a smudge timer as soon as you smudge after that. That can check for a demon or a spirit. There we go. We actually got to see the Obake shapeshift. That's why you sometimes want to look at the ghosts. Get over that fear of seeing the ghost because yes, it can kill you. But with the smudge, you're basically invincible. And looking at it can tell you 4 different ghosts. On top of like the 6th with the different ghost speed, right? Through hunts. Spirit, you can smudge it and it won't hunt for 3 minutes. It's not a perfect thing, but that's dictated through hunts. Yokai, you could do the yokai test. Myling did, these are the ghost speed right here. Raiju, Moroi, Dio, Twins, Hantu, Revenant. Those can be determined through hunts. Jin, Phantom, Oni, Obake, those 4 just by looking at the ghost. Then look at some of these others that you can hopefully. If a demon hunts prior to a minute 30 after a smudge, because demons are only smudged for a minute, instead they can only prevent hunts for a minute instead of a minute 30. So you can help try to figure that out. Poltergeist with it throwing a lot. This is just ghosts we can determine by hunts. This is why in no evidence, I hate playing high sanity on no evidence because really the way you're going to learn stuff is by hunting. And you look at some other things you can figure out with hunts. On Rio with the candle trick, candle and crucifix, you place a lit candle and a crucifix on the ground and the ghost uses the crucifix instead of blowing out the candle, then it's not an Onryo. Not during a hunt, but because of its hunting behavior, that's how you can figure it out. Mimic, you're just looking for ghost orbs. Wraith, just set salt down, but you can bring the ghost towards you with salt. If you set a line of salt with the ghost coming towards you to look for the other ones too, that can help rule that out. The other shade, it's not going to hunt in the same room as you, supposedly. It's very tough for me to get that. Banshee, you can get a paramike scream, which if you're really good at looping, I think you can get it during a hunt. I want to test that theory myself. Really, Yurei, Mare, Goryo, Shade are the ones that are going to be very tough. But even if you wanted to say, hey, well, Shades won't hunt till way later on too. If you do have sanity, so if you started ruling out all these other ghosts and then wanted to get your sanity up for a Shade, that would work too. Same thing with the Mare. If you wanted to get your sanity up higher to see, okay, with the lights off, is a Mare going to hunt me? It's between 50 to 60%. You could check that for sure, or check with the light switch trick. Yurei, Goryo are the 2 hardest that you're going to respond with in no evidence. Goryo, it doesn't change ghost rooms. You're going to pick Goryo. If you get the Yurei door slam, that's going to be that way. That's how you get the ghost of no evidence. Now let's see if you can guess this ghost just based on the hunt. guessed Hauntu, you were right. There was 2 reasons. It sounded a little bit slower. You knew it was either going to be Hauntu or the twins based on if it sped up in line of sight with us or not. Since the Hauntu did not speed up in line of sight, their speeds are based on the temperature and the environment. So if it's colder, breaker off. They're faster. Breakers on, they're really slow. Like they're like 1.5 meters per second footstep speed. So all you can do is just walk and you'll get away from the Hauntu. It won't catch up to you. So you see the importance of knowing footstep speeds during hunts, and you can click or tap the screen now to learn every ghost that has different footstep speeds during hunts, along with some other tips to survive. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one.